Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Namah Parvati Padaye, Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sitsabesa, Sivasidambaram, Tenarude Sivane, Pochi Nattavarkkum Iraiva, Pochi Thiruchitrambalam, எடுக்கும் மக்கதை இந்த மிழ்ச்செய்யுளாய் நடக்கும் மேன்மை நமக்கருள் செய்திட தடக்கை ஐந்துடை தாழ் செவி நீள்முடி கடக்களிற்றை கருத்துள்ளிருத்துவாம் உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம் சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேறிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேற் தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறை செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த சீர் திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே. தில்லைவாழந்தனரை முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொலைதான் திருத்தொண்ட தொகையடியார் பதம் போற்றி உலையவர் புராணகதை உலகறிய விரித்துரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்தூர் செக்கிழாரடி போற்றி. ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தமணிவோம் பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் வந்து குடிடுமே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear devotees, welcome back to the Periyapuranam Discourse series. We are here to think through the wonderful history of the great Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar Puranam, but we are thinking through Shri Eyarkon history that's part of Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar Puranam. Let me bow my head to the lotus feet of Thiruchitrambalam and also to the 57th Pontiff of Gomathinayagam Adina, Shri Guruma Sannidhanam as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead, get started with Eyarkon Kalikkama Nayanar Puranam. So during the last session, Sundaramurti Swamigal had a very long pilgrimage around the temples in Cholanadu and also in Nadunadu. He got 12,000 gold coins from the Lord of Tirumudugundar. He dropped them in the river of Manimuttar, the holy river, and now he is back in Thiruvarur. At the moment he came back to Thiruvarur, Sundaramurti Swamigal went straight into the temple and praised the Lord of Thiruvarur, Yagesa Peruman, and then he went back to his house to see Paravainachya. Sundaramurti Swamigal told Paravayatayar about the miracles and great things happened during his pilgrimage, and he said he has dropped 12,000 gold coins in the river of Manimuttaru, and now he's going to get back from the Kamalalaya pond in Thiruvarur with the blessings of Lord Shiva. Then Paravayanachya just chuckled, and then how can one recover the coins dropped in a river in one place and then take the same from a pond in another place? That's unbelievable. Then Sundaramurti Swami said, we will recover those gold coins from the temple. Let's go from Kamalalaya pond. Then let's go to the temple. And then they went to the temple. Then they reached the bank of Kamalalaya, a very large pond located on the west side of Thiruvarur temple. Lot of the Kamalalaya pond has around 64 gods, like you hear multiple gods at the bank of Ganga in Kashi. There's 64 gods in Kamalalaya. And the 64 gods give you 64 different benefits by taking a dip on the specific god. So now Sundarar and Paravayataya are standing on the bank of Kamalalaya, and Sundarar went inside the Kamalalaya pond. He put his hand inside the pond, the water, and tried to collect the gold coins, because the Lord said, you will get it. He couldn't find them. Then Paravayataya was just making a little bit fun of it. How can you take it? You dropped it in a river, and now you're trying to take it from the pond. Like there is a saying in Tamil. It's not be possible. Then Sundarar Brahman, he prayed to Lord Shiva and sang a wonderful Tirupadiam Devara hymn in Nataragapan. Let's also recite that Padiyam along with season of this song. Thiruchitrambalam. பொன் செய்த மேனியினீர் புலித்தோலை அரை கசைத்தீர் முன் செய்த மூவையிலும் எரித்தீர் முது குன்றமர்ந்தீர் மின் செய்த நுண்ணிடையாள் பறவை இவள் தன்முகப்பே என் செய்த வாரடி கேள் அடியேன் இட்டளம் கெடவே. He completed 8 songs. Nothing happened. He couldn't recover the gold. And then on the 9th song, Sudhamti Swamigal said, ஏத்தாதிருந்தறியேன் இமையோர்தனி நாயகனே மூத்தாய் உலகுக்கெல்லாம் முதுகுன்றம் அமர்ந்தவனே பூத்தாரும் குழலாள் பறவை இவள் தன்முகப்பே கூத்தா தந்தருளாய் கொடியே நிட்டளம் கெடவே. A Devara hymns composed for the Lord of Tirumudugundram, Palamalai-Nadar, the Lord who asked Sundarar, who commanded Sundarar to drop the gold in the river, Manimithara river. So he said, ஏத்தாதிருந்தறியேன் இமையோர்தனி நாயகனே மூத்தாய் உலகுக்கெல்லாம். He is the eldest of everyone. Palamalai-Nadar, the oldest Lord. Mudugundram amarndavane. You are from Mudugundram. You like Mudugundram. And you see Paravai. Putharum Kudalal Paravai Valtanmugape. She is making fun of me. I listened to you. I just followed you blindly. See what's happening now. Kutta Tandarulai Kudinitalam. My Lord, please get me. And the moment he completed 9th song, he got those 12,000 gold coins. He collected those gold coins, and then he came back to the bank. Everyone was shocked, surprised, and praised the Lord Shiva and started chanting Hara, 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 Hara. He recovered the coins, and then there's a Ganesh right in front of the west tower of the temple on the bank of Kamalayam pond. And the Lord Ganesh confirmed that this is the same gold that you got from Palamalai-Nadar. And that Ganesh is also called Mathuretha Vinayakar. He checked the gold that he collected from the pond, and he kept another gold from Tirumudugundram as well. And then he compared that Lord Ganesh confirmed to Sundara, this is the same gold that Palamalai-Nadar gave you. Then Sundaramurti Swamigal gave all those golds to Paravayar Thayar, which she used to donate to Lord Shiva devotees and also to celebrate the Panganitana festival in a very grand manner with the help of those gold coins. So Paravinachya and Sundaramurti Swamigal continued to worship Lord Shiva, doing their services to Shaivism. Then now it's time for the next round of pilgrimage for Sundara. Sundara decided to go on a pilgrimage again. His deep love and devotion to Lord Shiva would not let him stay in one place for a long time. He will always be doing pilgrimages. So at this time, Sundaramurti Swamigal and his disciples went on their next pilgrimage. They went to Thiruneedur, Thirukolakka, and they also worshipped Thoniyappar of Srigali. From the outskirts of Srigali, he did not step inside the Srigali town because it was the place of Srinyasa Swami. So he didn't want to put his foot on holy land. So he went around, and then he went to other temples, and now they became very tired and hungry, thirsty as well, while traveling to Thirukurgavur, another wonderful temple. The Lord of Thirukurgavur took a pity on Nambiyaruran, and he set up a quick pandal on their way, and then he was standing waiting for them, Lord Shiva waiting for them. He served them with very good food, Podisoru, and gave them cool drinking water. Nambi Arurar and the devotees of Nambi Arurar, Thiruchitrambalam, all of them had a great lunch and water, and they just felt asleep because of the tiredness after eating. And then when they woke up, there was no pandal; it vanished into the air, and also they couldn't see the devotee who was serving them. Then he realized it is the Lord that came all the way to give them the food and water. And he composed a wonderful Tirupadiyam in Natrava tune, praising the Lord of Durgurgavu, Thiruchitrambalam. இத்தனையாமாற்றை அறிந்திலேன் எம்பெருமான் பித்தனே என்றுன்னை பேசுவார் பிறரெல்லாம் முத்தினை மனிதன்னை மாணிக்கம் முளைத்தெழுந்த வித்தனே குருகாவூர் வெள்ளடை நீ என்றே. He praised the Lord, thanked him for his kindness. Then Sudhamji Swami continued his pilgrimage towards other temples. He worshipped Kalikkama in Thondai Nadu, and then he reached Thiruchitrambalam during the Uchikala. He had a great darshan, worshipped the Lord of Thiruchitrambalam, and then it was the lunchtime. They were very hungry and thirsty. They came out of the temple. Sudhamji Swami, along with the disciples, sat down near the temple. Lord Shiva took a form of a Vedic Brahmin. And he came to him. You seem to be very hungry. So let me go and beg for food from the priest street and bring it for you. Please wait for me. Stay here. Don't go away. I'll be back with food. The Lord went around the streets of the Thiruchitrambalam priest and the Vedic Brahmins where they live. He collected food from every single house, came back to Sundarar. Then he handed over the food for Sundarar and also all the devotees. Sundar Swami had a great food, and also he gave the food to the devotees, and they felt then they were very happy. All of a sudden, the devotee Lord Shiva just vanished into the air. Then he realized it is the Lord that came all the way from Kailash to beg for food from in the price streets, also the street where the Vedic Brahmins live, and brought it for him. Literally, Sundar Swami had no words to explain the kindness of the Lord and the grace he showed. Sundar Swami composed a wonderful, marvelous Devara hymn for Thiruchitrambalam Lord in Kalikkama tune. He said, Trambalam Thiruchitrambalam முதுவாய் ஓரி கதற முதுகாட்டெறி கொண்டாடல் முயல்வானே மதுவார் கொன்றை புதுவே சூடும் மலையாண்மகள் தன் மனவாழா கதுவாய் தலையில் பலினி கொள்ள கண்டால் அடியார் கவலாரே அதுவே ஆமார் இதுவோ கச்சூர் ஆல கோயில் அம்மானே. Thiruchitrambalam. Wonderful Tirupati. And then his pilgrimage continued to Kanchipuram. Sundar Swami reached Kanchipuram. The devotees of Kanchipuram got very excited that Nambi Arurar is coming to their city. Nambi Arurar, who was blessed by the Lord of Thiruvanninallur. Then the Sundar Swami, along with all his disciples, prayed to Kanchi Ekampareshwarar. Also Kamakshi Devi in Kamakottam, and they also visited other temples in Kanchipuram. Then they headed towards Kalahasti. They had a great darshan in Kalahasti. Then Sundar Swami, from Kalahasti, Sundar Swami composed the wonderful Tirupadi of Tirukedaram, Tiruparpadam temples as well from Kalahasti. And then he went to the Sundar Swami went to Thiruchitrambalam. It's Vatriyur is as equal as Shivalokam on earth. He went to Vatriyur and then decided to stay a bit longer. Here is where there's a big turning point in the history of Sundar Swami, Sivam Perumal. Remember, if you go back to Thiruchitrambalam, there were two women, disciples of goddess Parvati, in the garden, and they looked at Nambiyarur. Sundar Swamigal met the first woman in Tiruvarur, Paravyataya Kamalini, and there was another woman called Anithide, who was born here as Sangaliyar in Thiruñayuru, close to Tiruchiyur. So Thiruñayuru, it's situated close to Tiruchiyur. It's still some 10 kilometers from Tiruchiyur temple. You can reach there. Thiruñayuru means Suryadevan. Suryadevan worshipped the Lord in that temple. That's why it's called Thiruñayuru. So Thiruñayuru, there was a very rich farmer called Nyayiri Kilar in the race of Elala. He was blessed with a beautiful daughter, none other than Anithidayar, the great Anithidayar, a friend of Umadevi, reborn on the earth just to marry Sundar Swami. So she was named as Sangaliyar. She exhibited all the divine qualities, even from a very young age. Very young age. Sangali Piratiyar grew up well and then reached the marriageable age. Nyayiri Kilar started looking for some suitable groom for her daughter, but Sangali Piratiyar had other plan because she was very determined about her future. She couldn't reveal to her parents, but she kept brooding and worrying about it so much that one time she even fell down and fainted when she heard about their parents are trying to look for a suitable groom. And then there was another one of the relatives of Nyayiri Kilar. He sent a message to engage Sangali Piratiyar Thayar. At the moment the message was received, he died. And the parents got shocked. And then Sangali Piratiyar parents revived Sangali Piratiyar and asked her for the cause of her distress. And then Sangali Piratiyar took the courage and told the parents, I can marry only a man who has won the grace of Lord Shiva. I have not met that man in my life yet. I'm going to meet him one day. That's the purpose of my birth. I can't just marry any other ordinary man. I wish to live in Tiruchiyur in close proximity to Lord Shiva. I want to serve Lord Shiva. I don't want to live here anymore. Then Nyayiri Kilar and his wife were shocked to hear this from Sangali Piratiyar. It's more of a strange wish, right, for worldly people. Then they decided to fulfill the wish of their daughter Sangali Piratiyar. And then both of them took Sangali Piratiyar to Tiruchiyur and built a Kannimadam, more like it's just a house of virgins where the virgins girls will stay. So he built a Kannimadam right in front of the Tiruchiyur temple so that Sangali Piratiyar would continue to do her services to the Lord of the Tiruchiyur. So Nyayiri Kilar provided his dear daughter Sangali Piratiyar with everything she needed to live in safety and comfort. And then both of the parents, Nyayiri Kilar and his wife, went back to Thiruñayuru. Sangali Piratiyar was also provided with maid and servants and had her close friends with her as well. Sangali Piratiyar lived constantly thinking about just the Lord, nothing else. So Sangali Piratiyar lived in Kannimadam along with her friends and maid servants. Her thoughts were firmly fixed on Lord Shiva. That's important. Not thinking of anything else. She would get up very early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta, take bath, and then she would smear her forehead with a holy ash. She would pluck fresh, fragrant flowers, as she was doing in Kailash for goddess Parvati, And she does the same here as well, and she makes them into lovely garlands. She would offer the appropriate garland to Shiva depending on the time of the puja, kala, and day. She would be chanting Shiva Panchaksharam all the time. Such a divine soul, Sangli Piratiyar. And Sangli Piratiyar was thus serving Lord Shiva. Sundara and his disciple reached Thiruchitrambalam at the same time. Now, Sundara is also in Thiruchitrambalam, Sangli Piratiyar also in Thiruchitrambalam. One day, Sudaramati Swamigal went to the temple, and at that time, Sangli Piratiyar also entered the mandapam holding the garland prepared for Lord Shiva. She entered like a whiff of fresh breeze and vanished as swiftly as a streak of lightning. Sangli Piratiyar went back and entered the Kanimadam. At the same time, she had entered the heart of Sudaramati Swami. Sudaramati Swami just had a quick glance. He fell head over heels in love with her at the very first sight, and then he came to know about her name, her place, and Sundar Swami told himself, I could marry Paravaya. I married Paravayataya. Since Lord Shiva helped me, she's the next one. I'll marry Sanglier also. And let me go and pray to Lord Shiva. Then he went to the Sannidhi of the Thiruchiyur, Padambakkanatha Puchidankonda. He prayed to him, my Lord, you have successfully hidden Umadevi in the left half of your body. You've hidden Ganga in your matted coils. Only you can help me now. I would like to get married to Sangli Piratiyar. You must show me a way to marry Sangliyar. Then he went back to the town. He went back to his mud. He slept in fits and started thinking of Sangli Piratiyar all the while. He already conveyed his wishes to his friend, Lord Shiva. Then Shiva appeared in his dream and assured, Sudra, don't worry, I'll get you married to Sangli. Then Lord Shiva also appeared in the dream of Sangli Piratiyar and said, you must marry my friend, a great devotee of me, Sundar Nambiyaruran. Then Sangli Piratiyar got up and then requested the Lord. He said, my Lord, if you command me to do so, I will do that. But I have one request. Sundarar is already married to Paravayar and he lives in Tiruvarur. How can I marry him knowing this? Then Shiva assured Sangli Piratiyar, don't worry, Sangli. He will promise you to never leave you and throw to you. He will make a promise. Don't worry. I'll make him do it. And then Shiva vanished. He went back to Sundara. Shiva appeared in the dream of Sundaramati Swami again. All right, I spoke to I spoke to Sangli, all good. She agreed to marry you, but there's one caveat. That's Sundaramati Swami asked. What is that? I'll do anything. You must promise Sangli, Nachia, that you would never leave her and throw it to you. Basically, you cannot go away from her. Sundaramati Swami immediately objected, saying, my Lord, how can I promise this to her? You know, I have been doing pilgrimages all the time. I have to leave her side in order to visit your temples and to go on doing more pilgrimages. So then, when I make a promise to her, can you please leave your Sannidhi and reside in the Magila tree, which is the Sthala Vriksha in the temple? The Lord said, okay, I will do that so. I will not be in the Sannidhi when you make a promise. I will be in Magila. Then Lord Shiva came back to Sangli Piratiyar's dream and said, Sangli, when you ask him for a promise, tell him that he needs to do the promise right in front of Magila Mara, not in my Sannidhi. Remember that. He informed Sangli Nachiyar. Swami was so loyal to Sangli Nachiyar. He said, my Lord, she prayed to the Lord for his kindness And then Sangli Piratiyar woke up. She shared the message with her friends. In the meantime, Lord Shiva also informed the devotees of Thiruchitrambalam that they need to get both of them, both Nambiyaru and Parayathayar, married. The next day, Sangaliyar went to the before that, Sangaliyar went to the temple with a freshly made flower garland. Sundara was waiting to meet Sangli Pirati in the temple, and Sundara said he told Sangli Pirati of his dream. Sangli Pirati also became a bit shy and walked with her cheeks turned red. She also shared the same with Sundara Swamigal, but he said, "I need you to promise," as the Lord said. Sundaramurti Swamigal said, "I will promise you to never leave you and go away from Thiruchitrambalam. Please come to the Sannidhi of Lord Shiva." Then the friend asked, because Sangli Pirati already shared that with their friends. The friend said, No, we should not be promising in front of Lord. Let's go. If you could, you must promise in front of the Stalavracha. That's good enough. Then Sundara got shocked. He did not expect this twist in the tale. He told Lord to leave from the Sannadhi to Magalamara. Now the Lord is in Magalamara. So he had no other choice other than promising in front of Magalamara tree, Salavricha, where Shiva was actually residing at that time. So he made the promise right in front of Shiva. And the promise was loud and clear, never to part with Sangli Pirati or leave her aside. Shiva appeared in the dreams of Shiva devotees in Thiruchitrambalam and instructed them to perform a grand wedding for Sundara and Sangli Pirati. Eyarkon and his wife, all of them came to Thiruchitrambalam, heard about it, and then since their daughter is getting married, which is what they wished for, and the wedding was celebrated very grandly. And both of Sangli Pirati and Sundaramurti Swamigal got married. Sangaliyar continued to offer the flower garlands to Padambakanathar, Puchirakontar, Adipurishwarar, the Lord of Thiruchitrambalam, while Sundarar continued to offer more and more Devara hymns through Thiruchitrambalam. And now, the world rejoiced the arrival of spring season. Once again, Vasanta Kalam came in. The famous festivals of Vidhi Vidanga Peruman of Thiruvarur would be celebrated in a very grand manner during that season. And Sundara also wished to partake in the festival in Thiruvarur. He wished to witness the divine dance of Paravayar Nachiyar that she usually performs for Lord Dyagesar. And now what happens next? He already made a promise not to leave Sangli Pirati and even Ochiyur as well. Now he needs to leave. We will. What happens next? We will cover in the next session. Thiruchitrambalam என்றும் இன்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளம் மூங்கிட மன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகழ் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி உலகலாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹர ஹர நம பார்வதி பதையே ஹர ஹர மகாதேவா. சிற்றவேசா சிவசிதம்பரம். தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, எம்பிரான் நம்பியாரூர் மலடிகள் போற்றி போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.